Episode 98 of the DrewCast. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Last episode of the year, man. Last episode of the year. I wanted to be a little completely transparent with you guys. I have no notes for this episode, so it's just going to be me and you. We're going to be talking, to end the year off. We've been through this a lot the last couple years where like we take like a 2-week break. So it's like right before Christmas heading into the new year, we take like a 2-year break. I said 2-year break. No. Right before Christmas heading into the new year, we take a 2-week break, to clear our mind, for our mental health, give Justin a break, give me a break, let the creative juices flow. Don't worry though. There will be shorts on the channel. I'm going to be working on shorts still. So technically I am not getting like a full break, but I'm still going to be putting out content and stuff. But yeah, I just, a lot of stuff's been on my mind lately, guys. A lot of heavy, my heart's been heavy this like whole last 6 months, dude. There's been like a lot of stuff like just that's transpired that I still show up like every week, I still show up, cause that's, I'm at the heart of this whole entire operation. I am an entertainer. You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm obligated because this is my passion. This is what I love. So I show up, I try my best to put on the entertainer face to like give people some good product, because at the end of the day, whether I'm sad or I'm feeling it, I still want to make other people happy, bro. I still want to make other people laugh, So my goal is, hey, I'm going to show up every week and let's talk about like some popular topics. Let's review some movies. Let's review some shows. Let's have guests on, like stuff that excites me, and stuff that I think you guys would like. Because at the end of the day, I'm nothing without you guys, man. I mean that. Without you guys, bro, I'm nothing, bro. Like, that's just real talk. Without your guys' support, without your guys' the way you guys share it, the way you guys interact, without that, I'm nothing, man. A lot of content creators forget that. A lot of people who become famous forget that. They forget where they came from, man. There's a lot of people, because I think I've mentioned this in a couple episodes, where there's like famous people, like real talk, where they will follow nobody on their social medias. They have like their pictures blank. They'll follow nobody, and they don't interact with people. I don't want to end up like that, man. So like I know where I come from. I know I've literally started from the bottom, by the way. Like I don't come from a rich family. I don't come from privilege. Everything that you see in front of you, like the mics, the soundboards, the background, everything comes from scratch. It came from me hustling, me grinding, me having a dream, me having a passion, me wanting to entertain, me wanting to, because in real life, I noticed like I would make people laugh a lot, So I would say, hey, what's a good way to get the whole world to laugh, right? And so I thought a podcast would be perfect. I thought that would be the best way to get my personality out into the world. And I have horrible takes too sometimes, you know what I mean? I'll admit that, so I'm not perfect either. So like some of my takes are really bad. And, sometimes I'll laugh at the comments who are like, oh, this is a bad take. I'm like, yeah, bud. Yeah. But yeah, without you guys, man, I'm nothing here, bro. So, I'm excited. Something that I want to change for the new year is I kind of want to start interacting with the comment section more. I think I brought this up before, but there was a video that went viral on my TikTok. It's almost at 1 million views. And I know I keep referencing that video, but but the comment section on that video kind of scared me, bro. I was not prepared for that. I'm just going to be completely honest. I was not prepared for the amount of, there was a lot of good comments. There was a lot of good comments that I interacted with. Oh, for sure. And not all of it was hate comments, bro. So, but like there was so like imagine a million views, well about a million views, 77,000 plus likes. There was a lot of comments, bro. It was one of those things where it spooked me. I was like, oh, bro, like this is scary. So I stopped going on my comments for a while. Like I would post videos, but I just wouldn't look at the comments. I want to change that. Like for real, I do. I don't know what it is. It's like some of the comments are funny. Like recently I've been looking at a lot of the comments more. Especially on Instagram Reels, like I posted a video talking about how I thought Christopher Nolan's Batman kind of set a more darker, gritty expectation for Batman, which would ruin like other people's Batmans being in the Justice League, because if it's not dark and gritty like Christopher Nolan, people have a problem with it. There was a couple of comments, really horrible take, bro. So you just want Superman to roll around the streets with strobe lights and rainbow shirts? You want him to have rainbow shirts? It's like, no. Didn't say that, bud. Okay? What I said was Batman needs to be in the Justice League, and there's been plenty of stories in the comics where those stories wouldn't work with Christopher Nolan or Matt Reeves' universe. Like, you can't tell a lot of the Batman stories from the comics in those type of movies. So I started to go in the comment section a little more. So, because I don't want to be the guy. I don't want to be the guy that doesn't do that, I'm nothing without you guys. And there's a lot of people like Fran earlier this year. Well, not even just this year. There's like a couple months ago, she got diagnosed with something really bad, and like she was given a certain amount of months to live. And I feel like I let her down, bro. I feel like because I don't do good with death, bro. I recently just had a friend of mine who I used to work with, and she would call me her aunt. She would call me her nephew, and I would call her my aunt. And her name is May. And she passed away recently, and like I just don't do good with that kind of stuff, bro. I know that sounds selfish, but a couple months ago, when Fran told me like, "Hey, I don't have that long to live," I kind of feel like I let Fran down, bro. Like on it, like real talk, bro. I just shut down. I did. In my heart, I was like, okay, I'm gonna create a series for her because Fran is one of my biggest supporters. And I want Fran to know that, like, hey, I'm one of those people that, like, you have done so much for me. And we've connected so much on this level. Just through knowing you at work and just through this camera. Like, I wanted to make that up to you. I wanted to show you that, like, I wanted your legacy to, like, live on forever. And after you told me that, I feel like, damn, I wasn't doing enough for you, Fran. I wasn't communicating with you enough. I wasn't reaching out to you enough. And like the build up from this year, just like the constant, I've been through a lot of shit this last couple of years, man. And just this year in general. And I feel like I've let it affect like this channel a lot too, And I don't want to be that guy, man. I don't want to be that guy anymore, One of the sucky things recently too is a couple podcasts ago when I mentioned the Balenciaga story. And I also talked about, George Bush and the whole declassified memorandum. When we talked about, George Bush and 9/11, that video got shadow banned to hell, bro. It's really sad that, like, YouTube's on that type of time. It's actually sad that any social media is on that type of time. TikTok did it. YouTube Shorts did it. Instagram did it. I think the only social media platform that didn't was Facebook. Facebook, I would post reels to Facebook. A couple of the videos got like 1,000 plus, but YouTube and TikTok, it really disappointed me like how big of a shadow ban they did on that. It sucks because like those are really important topics. The whole Balenciaga situation, it's not just about Balenciaga and like famous people and big named brands. No, this is like about child exploitation. This is about something we all should really be on the same page about. And it's sad to see like these platforms that we come to. Like I come to this platform to speak to my audience, to speak to people. This is what it's resorted to. It's resorted to these big entities are now going out of their way to block that type of stuff. That's insane. TikTok too. I would post it, and like a day later, I went and checked. I was talking about how people said there was fake phone calls. And like, again, I don't believe in that. Okay. But people hear what they want to hear. I said, me and Justin were talking in the video, and me and Justin were saying how there's people who believe that some of the phone calls made to families were fake, right? We don't believe in that. I was just pointing that out. And people hear what they want to hear, because even in real life, I had people saying like, hey, so you said 9/11 was fake? You know, you shouldn't say that, bro. People died. Yes, I understand that. I understand people died. I'm very empathetic towards that. I never said those phone calls were fake. I never said 9/11 was fake. I'm pointing out what others said. But again, some people hear what they want to hear. And it kind of sucks, because I feel like that's part of why YouTube and TikTok shadow ban the fuck out of that video. Because they know there's millions of people who do that, and they will run with the story without reading it, without watching like anything. They will just run with it. They won't fact check it, nothing. So it kind of sucks, bro, because what I talked about wasn't fake. It wasn't a conspiracy theory. Like, both of the things I talked about, there was evidence and proof pointing to both situations. Like, both situations had proof. And literally what ended up happening is that on every platform, just shadow banned to the shadow realm, bro. It kind of sucked, bro. You know what I mean? And like, comment below if you guys didn't even know I released those videos. I would like to know that, bro. Seriously, like, I would like to know if they're holding that back from people who view me. That's actually like, you know what I mean? Because like, I'll talk about, let's say for instance, Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez, right? I'll talk about them, hundreds of views. I talked about Blueface and Krishan Rock one time. I said walk. God damn it, dude. But I talked about Blueface and Krishan Rock one time, right? And I talked about like White Lives Matter, like when Kanye was doing that shirt. 100 plus views. But if I talk about something that like you guys, I feel like should know about, something that we should care about, like to the shadow realm, you know what I mean? So that's crazy to me. That's actually insane that like, and I lost a lot of momentum, I feel like, with that episode, which I don't regret it though. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't regret it, but you know, and I even said, I think during the Balenciaga episode, how I could come on here and do jokey jokes. And I feel like as the type of human I've become, not everything has to be about that, and not everything has to be about something serious. So I'm going to try next year to balance that. You know, your guys' comments would help more too. So if you just like, you know, tell me like, hey, Drew, you should start doing this more and this, you know, like the stuff you guys like. I noticed the fantastic reviews that I've done, they get pretty decent views for the amount of subs I have. And the watch time for those are pretty good. So I know that you guys like that stuff. So I'll do more fantastic reviews next year. But I don't know. I just don't want to review stuff to review it. I feel like some people like will try to force that. And there's a lot of review channels on YouTube too. So I don't want to just do reviews. You get what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of people do the reviews. I mean, I remember one time I reviewed Pearl. Like, I was talking about the movie Pearl, and I literally, and this is what people hear what they want to hear. I talked about Pearl, right? I mentioned Mia Goth. Like, I said her name was Mia Goth. I just said I've never really heard of her before this movie. Crazy, right? That I didn't know about her. And I clipped it. But in the clip, I don't say her name. I just say, hey, I never heard of this actress before. And I'm talking really highly about the movie. Someone in the comments goes, well, why would I even want to watch this review if you don't even know the actress's name? And I commented, I was like, hey, if you go to the full review on my channel, the actual podcast, I actually do say her name. I actually do know her name. It's just this clip, I don't say her name. The guy commented back, yeah, but you didn't say it in this, so you don't know her name. And it's like, you hear what you want to hear. You know what I mean? But yeah, so something crazy that I ran across this week was actually kind of funny because I'm like really big into UFOs. You guys know that. This channel, I'm like super big into like the whole UFO phenomenon. And I'm like, I keep track of like, you know, the UFO reports that are supposed to be coming out soon and what people think. And I ran across this tweet the other day. that kind of freaked me out because I was like, okay, so if this tweet is real, okay, but first before I get to that tweet, guys, bro, this is sad, dude. So I was on Twitter and it was like, and so this is the tweet that I see. I'll put it up here. Breaking: NASA's InSight lander is no longer responding. Its final message was, "My power is really low. Don't worry about me though." And this is the last picture I took on Mars. That's sad, dude. You know what I mean? Like that. Look at that, dude. I thought to myself, like, dude, you served your country well, dude. And I just saluted it. I was like, tears in my eyes type stuff. Because I don't know who puts the messages inside the rovers or like the landers when they go up on Mars or in space. But it's kind of sad, bro. Like that could easily be like a Disney movie. Like this robot goes on a mission to another planet and then like its power is getting low and it sends one final like goodbye message and it's like really sad. But anyways, to get to the point, I'm on Twitter and I'm tracking like this UFO stuff and I come across this tweet, right? It says former CIA officer John Ramirez claims that the government is aware of an impending event in 2027 which will reveal something quite significant, so people are being prepared. Hearing that, I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. For two reasons. One, because what did you just say? And two, oh, I'm prepared. I'm prepared. I think I know what's happening, bro. Like, I've been piecing things together for the past, 3 years now. I've really tried to dive deep into this phenomenon because, in my eyes, I don't want to be looked at as like a kook, somebody who just speaks to talk, right? To a lot of people, that's all I will ever be. I just speak to talk, and that's okay. I'm cool with that. Some people are never going to understand it, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? But hearing that, and then hearing like the rumblings on Twitter, and like I follow like a lot of communities that have like a lot of reputable sources, people like Christopher Mellon and Tom DeLonge and Lou Elizondo. And whether or not you believe in them or not, that's cool. You don't have to believe in those guys, but I do. So this guy, a former CIA officer, John Ramirez, he's saying that the government is aware of an event that's going to be happening in 2027, which will reveal something quite significant. I think it's time, bro. For a while, I didn't think so. I didn't think people were ready for this conversation, but I don't think we're alone, guys. Now, are there aliens? I'm going to take a wild guess and say yes. The universe is so big, who knows? We're so far apart though. Like, we're so far apart, and like the Fermi paradox, and there's a whole slew of things that like get in the way of us probably ever knowing if there's something out there. But the chances are, yes, there is most likely other things out there, other life, other intelligent life. Yes, there most likely is, right? So, but the phenomenon I think that we're going to be exposed to, I think it's here. I've spoke about this before. A lot of people have spoke about this before, actually, so it's not just me. But I was piecing together some things, and I started to notice that like ancient writings and ancient paintings and like different religions, and they all talk about kind of the same thing. And I'm starting to think that like what we're seeing is native to Earth. I think it's from here. Either they live in the ocean, they live in Antarctica, or they live in some different dimension here with us, and they can go in and out of that dimension. And they watch us. I think they've been watching us for a very, very long time. There's no way they're not watching us. They've been watching us. There's been reports across plenty of countries where things can be seen in the sky above nuclear power plants, weapons, silos. The whole power plants have been like shut down from these unidentified objects. That's what these reports are saying. And that would make sense. I mean, if they live here on Earth with us, they're not going to let us blow up this planet. They're probably going to send out somebody to like, hey, keep these guys in check. We're not going to let them blow up the planet. That makes sense, dude. Now, what they're watching us for, that is to be seen. That's actually kind of what creeps me out, because like if they live here on this planet with us and they are more intelligent than us and they have things that can go in underwater and in space and travel at like great speeds, they clearly can take over. I mean, they clearly can just take us out like nothing. So the fact that they haven't done it yet is why. Now, even if they're creatures or beings that aren't like warmongering and they kind of just like to study and they're like, you know, super intelligent, even then, like, why have they let us do a lot of the stuff that we've done if they're watching us? Some would suggest that maybe we're like a natural simulation that they're watching. Maybe they created us and they're just trying to watch how life naturally evolves and they've been studying it. That could be it. Tom DeLonge was talking about on the Joe Rogan podcast how one of the pieces at Roswell actually had Greek writing on the side of it, and that a lot of people think that past civilizations have been on Earth, like very, very intelligent past ancient civilizations have been here before. A lot of people theorize that the Egyptians didn't even build the pyramids, like that they just came upon it. Like they just like were there and they you know, walked up on it, saw it, and just wanted to utilize that stuff. That too makes sense, because not to say that ancient humans couldn't have made the pyramids, but a lot of stuff just doesn't make sense. Like all the pyramids on Earth fit Earth's electrical grid. Like, how is that possible, bro? Now, I'm not saying that the Egyptians couldn't have built the pyramids. They very well could have. But how do they fit, like, you know, the dimensions or the speed of light, right? It fits Earth's electrical grid. Every other pyramid had to line up to make that happen. And if there was no cell phones or there was no way to like communicate with people across the world, how are they doing it? So it makes sense that a past civilization existed here and it's left behind remnants of them being here. That makes absolute sense to me. Another thing was when people were talking about like, you know, Atlantis and stuff like that and like the Greek gods, that a lot of religions and myths have truth to it. That those beings did exist at one point. They were here. They were super powered or like, you know, what we would call godly. Who knows why they left? A lot of people theorize that a catastrophic event in our past made them leave or go into hiding. Very well could be the case. And that, again, are you ready to hear that? You as a citizen of this planet, are you ready to hear that not only are we not alone, but we are not alone on this planet? We share this planet with super intelligent, you know, I don't know if we'd call them aliens, but they could just be a different variant of us. That was kind of something freaky that I was thinking about as this week was going on. A lot of stuff points to it, dude. A lot of stuff points to it. Now, my only question would be if they're watching us and it's almost like National Geographic, how, you know, you see like a snow leopard chasing a goat down the mountain and the leopard gets stuck. You know, National Geographic isn't going to help it. National Geographic they're going to let that leopard get stuck. That could be what they're doing with us. They're watching us, good or bad. They're not interfering, because that's not how you let a natural simulation play out. Now, the crashed UFOs that a lot of people claim we have recovered, you know, maybe that's their way of trying to give us a kick in the right direction. Hey, you know, that'd be like us dropping off a motorcycle in the not even the 1900s. That'd be like us dropping a motorcycle off in the 1300s. You know, hey, let's just see what they could do with it. We know they're probably not going to be able to reverse engineer this, but let's just see what they do. That's actually fascinating. That could be what's happening, you know? But I don't know, bro. Like, if you're super intelligent, you probably would know that, like, our government, they're not the best people to give that technology to. Like, do you think if they're able to reverse engineer it that they're going to do good with it? Like, I don't think they would, bro. And I don't know, if you're super intelligent, it seems like they're doing this the wrong way. And I could be wrong. There could be like a greater scheme here at play. But it seems like if they're super intelligent, like, I wouldn't be giving my crashed UFO to the U.S. government. in New Mexico. You know what I mean? I just think that's cringy, but who knows? And so there's a lot of evidence, man, that points to that's what this phenomenon is. And I'll be ready for it. That's a question I wanted to ask you guys to end the year off. If you got told that we share this planet, I mean, again, yes, I believe there are aliens, people from other planets, absolutely, and it makes a lot of sense. But space is so big and so vast, and the universe is expanding, really fast. It could be like the Fermi paradox could just be one of those things where everything is just so far away that we don't have the correct technology at the moment to even see if other people exist. And look inside your hearts, bro. It is just look deep inside your hearts. This very well just could be natural to Earth. They're here. They've always been here. And they might just be able to mask themselves amongst you. Like they might just be walking amongst you right now. You might be going to the mall. They're in the mall with us, but you'll never know. They just come they just come and go as they please. A lot of rumblings too on the UFO Twitter files it's a great trend to follow, by the way. A lot of those rumblings have been talking about how a lot of people in Congress believe that there have been past civilizations that were super intelligent here, or just past civilizations that have existed that were like and I'm not talking about like mud and clay house civilizations or castles and rocks. I'm talking about like legit civilizations that have had this planet before, and for some reason they're in hiding or they're not here. Either way, like there's rumblings of that, and we're talking about people in Congress believing that. So, and that's kind of what I wanted to end the year off with you guys. That's like the shtick here, the whole UFO shtick. Well, a lot of people think I'm like a UFO nut, which is crazy. Again, I was reading something earlier this week about how it was suggested that the CIA killed JFK. I'd have to like fully dive into it because I didn't get a chance to read it. But like something came out where it was really, it was like someone who used to be, it was like either the current head of the CIA or someone who used to work for the CIA, like heavily implied that he believes the CIA had something to do with JFK's death. And it's kind of funny because like the CIA's, they're the people who coined the term conspiracy theorist, which is crazy. Hey, so we don't get people saying we did it. We're going to call you conspiracy theorist. We're going to make fun of you for trying to tell the truth to people. So, and we're going to heavily scrutinize it to where even if you talk about it, people are going to like, look at this guy, dude. Look at this guy. Look at this guy talking about JFK, 9/11, and UFOs, dude. Good. Hey, bravo on you. Actually, I'm not even mad that they coined that term because that's actually very smart if you're trying to get people to look a different way. Hey, they can't look over here because we killed JFK, right? You know what I mean? So we're going to have them look over this way. We're going to have everybody make fun of them. And then 70 or 60 years later, when it comes out, we'll all be gone by then. And people will make fun of them for bringing it up at that time. They'll say, hey, why are you bringing up 9/11 and JFK now? Because there's more important things happening. So even if the government did do that, why do you care about that? This stuff's happening. So they're actually very smart for that because now, like I'll bring up the whole 9/11 thing to my friends. Like, hey, did you guys read the report where Bush kind of knew that we were being threatened with attacks and stuff, and he kind of knew this was coming? Why are you talking about 9/11, bro? There's other things happening right now, like Nick Fuentes and Kanye. And I'm like, so again, it all plays a part of like their bigger scheme that I actually think is kind of genius, dude. So it's actually really genius. I'm actually like kind of bravo, guys. Bravo, CIA. And if you're watching, no offense, you guys did great work. You guys did great work. So, but yeah, that is episode 98, guys. Before I end off the year, if you are listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, thank you for keeping that alive. Because that was a huge addition to the show. It was a huge addition, and you like it every week I log in to like look at the the statistics and the stats and just see how the numbers are doing. And bro, over 1,600 downloads for someone that doesn't really like, okay, look at, I get people to share the podcast, right? I get people to share. Yep. It's usually about the same 5 to 10 people though. And thank you guys. To you, I'm forever grateful because you guys don't even have to share, but you do. I am forever in debt to you. It blows my mind. But over 1,600 downloads just on the audio platforms. That's crazy. And it kind of blows me away when I look at it sometimes. Like, and if it blows me away at 1,600 downloads, imagine the day I get 1 million. I'll be more humble about it because I'm like, yeah, I came from 1,600 downloads and I was like extremely grateful. And now when I see the big numbers, I'll be even more grateful. I'll be even more grateful about it. So you guys have been killing it. And again, like I said in the beginning, without you guys watching and interacting and sharing, and I wish more people would share though. So maybe next year I got to start working on like being like just a better entertainer and a better topics maybe, because then the more shares, the more views across like TikTok, YouTube, the more shares, the more views, the more followers I get, the more people get to experience this and experience just, like an authentic entertainer who's not compromised, who's not paid and bought for. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I'm hoping for next year. So yeah, this has been a really, really great year, guys. Can't wait to see you in January. Can't wait to head into our 4th year together. And until next time, guys, peace.